Shannon Stark, Director of Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I have Clay County Animal Rescue Education Center with me, also known as CCARE. I have Janelle Mashad, who is the president of the board, and Scott Milliman, who is the director of CARE. And we are so excited to be talking with them today. CCARE is fairly new for our community, and I want to just start on the history of that and kind of how it all came about.
Sure. So my full-time job is actually a registered vet technician at Court Street Veterinary Care here in Clay Center. And so I kind of saw firsthand the day-to-day need that we had for an animal shelter. And in 2011, which seems like almost an eternity ago now, but the local pound that we had at the time had building issues. The foundation had sunk, so they were talking about closing it and taking the animals to Concordia, to their shelter. And I just thought it was crazy that we had 3 veterinary clinics in town that are being supported. So that means we have a lot of animals in town, animal lovers, that we wouldn't have our own shelter here in town. So I gathered a group of people. We actually started what was called Friends of the Clay Center Animal Shelter. And we got a fiscal sponsorship through the Clay County Community Improvement Foundation and started raising money to potentially, in the beginning, help the city out to get a shelter open again. When I went to the city council, they told me, you know, if we could raise around $65,000, they'd let us open a shelter again. Well, our fundraising well exceeded that. We actually went over $100,000 with our fundraising efforts, and we were doing fundraisers monthly. I mean, it was definitely a work. It was a lot of work for our little group. But when we surpassed that amount that we had wanted, and we went back to talk to the city about what we were thinking for a shelter, you know, their ideas weren't quite the same as ours. Not that that's bad, but we were just wanting it to be, we wanted it to be a no-kill shelter. And so we actually decided that it may be better if we do a nonprofit and do our own thing, and with the support of the city, of course, and they agreed with that. And so that's when we started working towards getting our nonprofit status. We succeeded with that in the early months of 2015. Then we purchased this building later in the year, and then started renovations, and then we actually opened this building here in March of 2016.
So it was a 5-year process
pretty much
before you even opened your doors.
With 2 babies for me along the way.
Yeah.
And you know, it was
a full-time job.
Right, and a full-time job.
All of these people were probably
right, and everybody that's on our board that was there from the beginning, all have full-time jobs too. So you know, and we would have liked to have had it done sooner, of course, but we did get it done. So yeah, sometimes it's a marathon rather than a sprint.
5 years is not that long.
True.
For the difference that this shelter is going to make for this community.
Right. Well, and we wanted to make sure that we were going to do it the way we had envisioned too. We wanted to make sure things were done right. So sometimes that takes a little longer to get it accomplished the way you want it to.
But that's a good viewpoint.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're a no-kill shelter.
We are.
What exactly does that mean?
So basically, and Scott can kind of explain that a little bit too.
It mostly involves your live release rate. So animals that you're transferring out, animals that are getting adopted, versus who doesn't make it for medical reasons or what have you. And you have to float above a 96% live release rate to qualify as a no-kill shelter.
Which is a very high.
And we actually hit 98.5.
So we're above that number, which we're very proud of.
Yeah, we are. It takes a lot of work. A lot of that involves transferring. You'll see us transfer out to breed rescues, which is not a resource that everybody has the time to track down, but when they wind up here, that's really what we want, is that happy outcome. And breed rescues and things that we use a lot, those animals go straight into foster homes, and as much as a foster failure where they start in a foster home and never leave.
Right.
It sounds bad, but it's one of the greatest things to happen.
Yeah.
And we love placing animals into situations like that and sending them out from here too. They get lots of behavior modification if they need it. You can hear a couple of our kids over there. They're getting on the wagon.
couple of our kids, I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, no.
And so one of the reasons that they would have to be euthanized would be medical reasons.
Right. So we've had, like I said, I could probably name on one hand the amount of dogs that we have over the two years, and 600 plus dogs that have come through our doors. And a couple of them were medical reasons. We did have one that was very aggressive, and there was, it was, you know, we have had others that have been aggressive that have come through that we've been able to rehabilitate, but this, every once in a while you have one that it's just not going to change.
And that's for the safety
of
right.
our
because
workers,
we function
our volunteers.
so much on volunteer help. I can't be here every day, all day. So we have had dogs that people have brought in that ultimately we can't take in because there are volunteers here that couldn't handle a dog.
And we don't want our volunteers
like a 95-pound dog that will lunge at you, try to grab your neck. We've had to turn people away with animals like that. It's not what we want to do, but we want to keep everybody safe. We're very public safety minded in that aspect.
Education.
Yes.
Yeah.
Education.
Yes, you guys do a lot.
Right, and that's part of why we chose to put that in our name, was because we wanted to make sure. We want to improve things, not just mask things.
Yeah, and then the more the
So-
community knows,
Right.
the better that
Right.
they can serve everything. That's
Exactly.
very good. Awesome. Well, that is a 5-year journey,
Yep.
and you've been open for 2 years now.
Yes.
Over 2 years.
Over 2, because it'll be 3 in March, so
Yes.
almost 3 years, and over 600
Awesome.
dogs that
Over
have come through our
600
doors.
dogs. And how many?
So like, I don't know the exact numbers right off today because it changes totally all the time, but probably a little under half of those have probably been owner reclaims. So like they've come in, somebody's found them running at large, brought them in, and we were able to get them back to their home. And then we've had a lot that have been adopted.
Yeah.
over
Adoptions and
200,
transfers, it's
200.
kind of an even split
Yeah, it is really on
between adoptions
But
and
somewhere for them
reclaims.
to go before they are reunited with their owners.
Right,
Yeah.
and,
For the
and you know,
community.
I know sometimes people get upset because they come here. We're not a jail. We're actually here to make sure that your animal's not getting hit on the street.
Right.
It's not getting attacked by another animal. You know,
Right.
those kinds of things. We want them to stay healthy and get back to their owners.
Very good. Well, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the adoption process at C-Care. Thank you.
Count on our team at Eagle for reliable internet, TV, and phone, because keeping you connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected. Count on our team at Eagle for business class phone, internet, and technology solutions, because keeping your business connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce. I have Janelle Mashad with me today, President of C-Care's board, and Scott Milliman, the Director of Care. And we talked a little bit about the history of the shelter before in the first segment. I want to hear a little bit about the adoption process and what it takes to adopt a dog from C-Care.
So if you come out and you meet a dog that you're interested in, or if you see one on our webpage, right off of our webpage where you're looking at the dogs, you can just click in and fill out an application there, and it kicks it straight into our email. Honestly, it's easier to do that. We do have paper applications for folks that aren't technically inclined. It takes us about 2 days to go over that and kind of follow references, do checks. We have Google Street Viewed people's houses to make sure that they're not just going to chuck a dog outside in a kennel. We kind of do our homework on that, and in about 2 days, we call back and say, hey, we're happy to send this dog home with you. Sometimes we have recent arrivals like Max, that because they're so cute, everybody wants to fight over them. So we do kind of go in the order that we receive and approve applications. Otherwise, we might have like fist fights in our lobby some days over cute dogs. After that, all you have to wait on is us to get the medical lined up and squared away. All of our dogs leave microchipped, they're altered, they're vaccinated for rabies, they get kennel cough and distemper parvo shots as well. So they're ready for their first full year without, and heartworm tested.
So you make sure that the environment is safe and
Yeah.
healthy for the dog to go in, but you also make sure that this dog is healthy to
Safe
go
going
in.
into an environment.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
We don't
awesome.
want to send home animals that are going to make other people's other animals sick. And we make sure that they're just ready for that. Adopting is such a happy thing. We don't want anything to like rain on that parade. So we want to make sure that everything's squared away and everybody gets to enjoy like that first whole year. Like you don't have to take them to the vet for a whole year unless somebody needs like a bath or a nail trim.
Right.
Well, we have some wild nail trim dogs, but other than that, no, it's pretty painless and easy.
Very cool. That's exciting. And you have a room here at the shelter that they can
Right
come
there.
and meet their dog
Right.
and
Bring family members, 4-legged and
Absolutely.
2-legged, depending on if they have kids or if they have fur
Introduce.
babies.
We
and
encourage
make
meet
sure
and
everything's
greets.
going to work.
It's not like a way for us to strike down an adoption. We just, for peace of mind. You want to know that maybe when my dogs get home, are they going to agree? Is someone going to say, hey, this is my territory, I don't like you here?
Right.
We have seen that. I mean, dogs are kind of all over the board when it comes to, do I like kids in this small space? Is it okay when I feel like I can get away? So watching that interaction and making sure that it will work out.
And it's always best to introduce on a neutral space, a neutral ground the first time. That way you hopefully avoid the protection of the house if a new dog comes into an old dog's territory. So there's reasons why we do it.
yeah, no, that's good. And is there a fee? There is a fee, an adoption fee. What is that?
That covers most of the medical that we do. I mean, there's a little that's kind of up in the air. It covers the medical. We've been really lucky that we don't have dogs that have been here forever, so it's not really covering so much.
You have a lot of
length
people
stay
that are willing
and
to
the care
adopt.
that we've,
Right. Yeah, we try to have a pretty quick
we try to get
turnover.
dogs into those home placements or transferred out to where they will find a home
How many
placement.
kennels do you have? Like, how many can you?
We have,
Absolute
in-house?
tops, we could probably fit 33 animals in here.
but we never want to be at that number.
Yeah, our
With
happy
one
number is like
usually
11
around
to
11
13.
to 12. Yeah, with one employee, I mean, we rely a lot on volunteers to do a lot of extras, but with one employee, 11 to 12 dogs is our max to get them the appropriate care that they need while they're here. So, and an adoption fee usually runs around 150 before we get too far. That was the other
Right.
thing. That's on average what most dogs cost to adopt from us.
Thank you, I totally missed that.
Some of the puppies we will sometimes charge a little bit more,
Two.
to $250, just depending, just because those guys have a little bit more medical in them, and
care required.
And care required. So it kind of covers that. And we
Very
do adoption specials occasionally too, where we drop prices or we have people that will sponsor dogs sometimes for adoptions too. So
I was a big fan
Very
of Black
cool.
Friday.
yeah, Black Friday.
We ran that in what, September?
Yeah, or October.
Every Friday in
October.
Okay,
It was
every Friday in
October.
October. Yeah.
Yeah.
duh.
Very
So,
cute.
but yeah.
Fun. And you mentioned volunteers. Do you guys have a lot of community members that come in and help out?
We have a basis of probably 20 to 30 people. Of course, there's a few of those that spend a lot of time here, and we rely on the volunteers a lot. Though I mean, they're really what helps keep this place going.
Yeah.
They come in, they help clean, they help feed, they help water, they help socialize, they walk.
And you guys have a play. You said socialize. You guys have a playtime for your dogs.
We try to do it twice a day. That doesn't always happen. But in the mornings, like when the dogs are out while we clean the kennels, we try to put them in playgroup. I'm a little more loosey-goosey than some of our volunteers. I've done the
Some of us
doggy
aren't as
daycare
brave
thing,
with
so
it as Scott
I'm more
is.
comfortable putting dogs together and being like, okay, no, you need to behave. I'm kind of the rules guy
Yeah.
with the dogs. And
So not only are they getting a medically healthy dog, but also behavioral. That's something you guys focus on to make sure that they're interacting with other dogs,
Absolutely.
interacting with humans, and they're ready to go into an
Yep.
environment.
Yep.
we try to pass on adoptable skills,
Yeah.
like
Because we
getting
want
along
them to
with
stay
other
in
dogs.
homes. We don't necessarily want them to have to come back. It happens occasionally where they do, but we really try to strive to get them a good fit so they are in a forever home.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, I know that it's been such a hit in the last couple of years, and our community is very thankful for all of your efforts and everything you guys do for the community. So we'll be right back after this break.
Count on our team at Eagle. for digital, radio, and TV advertising, because keeping your business connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community, connected. Count on our team at Eagle for reliable internet, TV, and phone, because keeping you connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community, connected.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark, Director of Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce. I have C-Care here with me today. Well, we have talked a lot about your adoption program and the history of this place. What are some of the events, the community events that you put on and the fundraisers that you put on?
So we usually, we do have quite a few fundraisers. We try to do about, on average, one per month, one every other month, typically. Some of them, of course, are smaller than others. For instance, Wednesday, December 5th, we have our annual soup supper coming up. It's usually a pretty big hit. It's going to be at the United Methodist Church Family Life Center, and it'll be from 5 to 7. Lots of yummy, good soup. Thank goodness I have a wonderful mother, because she cooks the majority of our soup for us. But anyway, it's always a good turnout, and we usually make a little over $1,000 usually at that fundraiser, so it's a pretty decent one for us. We also will have bartenders available at the Martinis and Mistletoe coming up on December 8th. You know, there's always things that are going on. We've been selling some ornaments, tree ornaments. The best thing to do is probably keep track of us on Facebook. You know, go and make sure you like our Facebook page, because that's where we keep people up to date on events that are going on.
Any events, any fundraising.
Yep.
Yeah, and you guys are a nonprofit organization, so
Yes.
you rely on those.
Exactly.
Those
Very much.
fundraisers.
You know, our life depends on the donations that we get from the community and the people that support us. We do have monetary help, of course, from the city and the county, some, but that's just not enough to keep us completely going. So we work hard to get that extra cash flow coming through.
And you've had 600 dogs. I mean, over
Yeah.
600 dogs come through here. So every little bit counts and
Yes.
is needed for sure. You guys are busy.
Yep. Yes,
Great.
we are busy all the time. Scott would tell you more some days than not.
It gets to the point where you worry when you've had like 3 normal, not busy days in a row, because it's
You're
like
gonna get
they
slammed
save
on the
it up
next one.
for
Yeah.
one day.
But yeah.
So looking into the future, you guys have 2 years, 2 awesome years.
We have a lot of future hopes and dreams and plans, and you know, everything's a process, of course, but we really would like to get a dog park started that will be open to the public, and we have a huge lot next to our building here, and so that's where our plans are to put that dog park. We are currently working on getting our actual exercise area extended for the dogs that are here for play groups and such. That's going to be a little bit of a process, but we're getting there on that one too.
It'll be like practice for the dog park.
Right. We're constantly, this last fall, we took all the paint off of the building. We're getting ready to repaint it. So, I mean, there's always things that we're doing to improve our building here, but also help the community. You know, we would really like to get a trap, neuter, release program going for the feral cats in Clay Center.
And right now you only house dogs,
Correct.
Yes.
but you're slowly taking steps
Right.
toward getting
We would
a program at least.
Right. Our plans are to eventually be able to take cats too. But cats are a whole nother ball game, different than dogs. You know, we talked about we want to stay at a no to low kill shelter, and right now if we opened our doors to cats, we would have so many feral strays that were not adoptable come in that euthanasia would probably be their only option, and that would get rid of our no low kill status, and we don't want to do that. So the proper way to go about that is to get a TNR program started, so we can get the feral cat population under control in Clay Center. We can continue to raise more money to get our kennels an area for the cats, because at this point we don't have money set aside for that, but we will eventually.
And so when you do the trap, neuter, release, you put them back in the environment.
We do.
Where
a lot
they
of
came from. It's a huge part of K-State partnered with a shelter that I was at before. And you learn where your colonies are, you have people that monitor, and then you see who's been altered already. They ear tip the cats that they catch in return, So it's a huge community involvement where you have people monitoring those colonies, people help doing the trapping, people help loading cats on and off the trailer on surgery day. So it's a huge undertaking, but it'll help so much. I didn't think we had a cat issue in town, and then one day somebody said something and I saw like 15 on the way home.
Right. You know, and yeah, a lot of people don't understand that with the TNR program, you alter them so they cannot breed and of course have more offspring, but you do put them back into where their territory was before, so new unaltered animals don't come in. They protect their territory, they live out their lives, and you're slowing the process down and slowly getting rid of unwanted litters because you've already spayed and neutered.
Right. So that's a whole nother program, a lot of extra work. Yeah.
Yes.
That's something you guys are looking
It'll
into.
be right. We've started a committee. Hopefully, of course, this is our busy season, but hopefully after the first of the year, I think every year, everything's our busy season.
Right, it never slows down.
Right, but we're hopeful that after the beginning of the year, we can really get started on that and get some progress going, because it will be a community-wide project. I mean, we'll have to get the community involved to be able to do those things. So
basically what you're saying is you're not slowing down anytime soon.
Nope.
We
Just
have
because you got those good 2 years
steam
under
ahead.
your...
Right, exactly. We still have a lot of dreams and things to accomplish.
Well, that's good. I hope that the community continues to support you. Follow their Facebook page, CCARE, Clay County Animal Rescue and Education Center, on Facebook, and get involved, come to their events. They're super fun. You get to play with dogs.
Yeah, come volunteer. We're always looking for new volunteers.
Yes.
Even if you only have 10 minutes.
Yep.
If you want to get a dog out of a kennel and hang out in the cuddle room, absolutely.
Who doesn't want to hang out in the cuddle room?
Right.
Very cool. Well, thank you to CCARE for being here today. Thank you, Janelle and Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for getting the word out for us.
Yes, so check them out on Facebook, follow along, and I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.